All right. So tonight's topic is year-end excuses and right now resolutions. I wonder what we're talking about, right? So before the call, I was just thinking back over some of my most favorite excuses that I've heard over the years. And the first one that came to mind, I couldn't find another one that beat it, was after working with somebody for a couple of months, I finally had a heart-to-heart with her about, okay, something's not working, and it's not working, and all that good stuff. And so she says to me, she says, I got to be honest with you. Okay. I don't want to buy any more clothes. And I was like, what? She's like, if I lose weight, I've got to buy more clothes. And I'm so sick of buying clothes that I just can't do it.
That is the best problem to have.
Right? What? I don't know. So, hold on, it gets better. So she comes up, she lifts up her shirt and she lifts it up and she's got these big old elastic pants and they're pulled and she's got this rope tied around them like Beverly Hillbillies. And she says, I don't want to spend any more money on clothes. I just can't afford to spend any more money on clothes. I was like, well, then we're going to have to figure something out because you're going to have to take yourself over to Goodwill because this is ridiculous. So that was probably the best one I could come up with.
Oh my goodness. That's funny.
I don't think I've ever had, you probably would have never thought that would have been an excuse you'd ever get. You're like waiting to hear it, and she's like, I don't want to buy any more clothes, so I'm just going to stop.
What? I've, over the years, I've certainly gotten there's a lot of negative emotions in the other way that, especially if you've been kids maybe who grew up in foster homes or they were neglected or abused, especially, and that feeling overweight is a protective mechanism because they feel like it would detract someone from harming them again. So I've gotten that a lot over the years, but never don't want to buy any more clothes. I'd be knocking down doors for hand-me-downs. Everybody, can I take anything to Goodwill for you, please?
Well, that's the thing is like, so the smaller you get, the cheaper clothes are anyway.
Unless it's a swimsuit. It's very backwards that way.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. It's ridiculous.
I haven't tried that yet. Buying a smaller swimsuit.
Just stay where you are because you don't want to pay the price for a swimsuit.
Oh my God.
All right. So I was going to call people out on their excuses that we use, especially this time of the year. But before I call you out, I got a little trivia question for you. So guess, what do you think the average weight gain is from Halloween to January 1st or the beginning of January?
20 or 25 pounds, but right in that range. Is Tracy going to guess, or does she already know the answer?
No, I don't, but yeah, I don't know the answer.
Only one other contestant, and it's you.
I know, because she stole my answer. I was going to say 20 pounds, but I don't want to say the same thing just for the fact that I don't want to say the same thing.
This is not The Price is Right.
I know. There's no prize at the end, damn it. I'm going to say 15 pounds.
All right, I'm going to give you guys one more guess, but you're going to have to drop it much lower.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Lower, really?
Mm-hmm.
5 pounds.
10?
I said much lower. So you will be surprised to know that the average weight gain is only 1 to 3 pounds.
What? Wow. That is very shocking.
How does that make you feel?
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things I think about that. Like it, how do I put it into words? So I feel like some people don't want to start working out now because they feel like they're just going to pack on a ton of weight. And working out won't make much of a difference other than to maintain. But really, if you're only gaining 1 to 3 pounds, but you could lose 5 pounds a month, the difference is insignificant at that point. Like for not starting anyway. Like you would then lose, maybe instead of 15 pounds, maybe you lose 12 pounds. You know what I mean? If you add in that 3 that you might gain.
All right.
That makes any sense?
Analysis there.
I'm sorry, my brain just like, I'm like,
It totally makes sense.
That does make sense.
Mm-hmm. It's not the answer I expected, but I'll get to that in a second. Tracy, I mean, what do you think when I shed that light on you that it's only 1 to 3 pounds?
I don't know what to think. Honestly, I don't. I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm blown away. It's shocking to me because I think then what's the holdup, right? Like, then what's the issue with, if that's the reality? So then what's holding people back then?
Hang on 1 second. People are looking for the Zoom number. It's on the invite.
well, it's on the page, but you can't copy and paste. I just opened up 2 windows at the same time and
Got it.
wrote it out.
So I didn't hear what you said, Tracy.
It's okay. No, I guess I'm on the same kind of wavelength as Emily. Like, I don't understand then what people's holdup is then. Like, then that's what's throwing me, because if that's the reality, and is that it's only 1 to 3 pounds.
So when you say
there's no reason not to go.
Right. And what do you mean by hold up, Tracy?
Like what? So what do people? What is people's processes here then? Like they're just. I'm just going to gain the weight anyways, because like I want to enjoy Thanksgiving, I want to enjoy Christmas, I'm going to do that. So, I'm just going to partake in all of it. So I'm not going to start anything until the new year, and then I'll lose the weight. Is that the direction you're going here?
No. Well, I mean, people do think that way, without knowing what the average is. I mean, that's the norm.
It makes me feel like I'm pretty excited about that fact, though. The fact that I now know that, though, because it's not as like
scary.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like you would think, like, okay, for sure. I thought this is like the biggest time that you would gain weight right now because it's the holidays. So that's what's shocking to me, right?
Yeah. It is shocking. So when I learned that, I had the opposite reaction, because my first thought was, what's wrong with me? Because if the average were only gaining 1 to 3 pounds and I was packing 5 or 10 pounds on, what
am I doing?
Why was I not average? And so was I truly eating that much more than other people? And so we don't only make comparisons to people, in one direction, like, oh, she looks so good and I look so bad. We also make it in the other way, is that, wow, I thought I was just as bad as everybody else being bad. So, we all be bad together. And that makes it okay, because everybody gains 5 or 10 pounds. And then to find out, oh crap, not everybody does gain. But yet I consistently did every year. So then in the years following that, then I took the attitude that you guys had. It's like, well, it's going to happen anyway. I might as well not even bother doing anything about it until the new year. So there you go. That's the flip side.
Yeah.
Well, so the rest of that study is that it's not the weight that you gain during the holidays that's the problem. Is that even people who, and this made me feel even worse, that even people who report putting on between 5 and 10 pounds say that it's no big deal because it comes off right after the holidays are over.
Is it like stress bloat?
Yeah, right.
They're giving themselves the out, right?
There you go. They take a bunch of enemas. I don't know. But,
that's not a party, okay?
Right. But the average person, so the average, whatever you gain at the holidays, the majority of people do not take off the following year. So, right. So for whatever reason, it makes this the hardest to lose. So yes, while there are some people who can put on a few pounds and then they go back to their maybe very active, healthy lifestyle, it comes right off. It's no big deal. But they say that the pounds gained through the holidays are the hardest throughout the rest of the year to take off, because they came slowly, which, from November 1st to January 1st, that's still 60 days. It's not like it's an overnight thing. So it came slowly. We justify it with all of those things about, okay, it's the holidays, I'm going to do it anyway, I'll get back to it January. So we justify it, which makes us not pay attention to it. And then now you follow that up with the most inactive time of year, and it's cold and people don't want to do stuff. And
so really you say, oh, I'll get to it after the new year, but really the reality is you're not. You're telling yourself that because all the busy is gone and over with, but you're still left with the fact that it's a horrible time of year in terms of like it's crappy weather, you're inside a lot, you're not really outside being active. I never thought of it like that. Yeah. So really, you're not until like come time spring. So think about how many more months that is.
Right. So next trivia question. So if we don't put on most of our weight over the holidays, what time of year do you think we pack on the most weight?
Winter.
Watch it be like right after the first of the year, like when everybody's making their New Year's resolutions.
Summer.
What? What is
it? Again. I know. I don't know why more people don't take nutrition advice from me. No. Summer.
Why?
Because the kids are out of school, so there's more junk food at home. They take more vacations, more trips. They're out of a routine more often and just not paying attention to it.
So when is the most likely months to lose weight, Linda?
So it's the opposite. The thinking is the opposite from, the holiday season. In the summertime, people think that because they're active, they don't need to watch it.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And so that justifies them not paying attention to it. Over the holidays, they justify not paying attention to it because it's going to happen anyway. Everybody does it, right? So tricky. Little reverse psychology.
My mind is so blown. Like it's just.
I know.
That's crazy.
That's what I do. So Tracy, you asked when is the best time of year?
Yeah.
Not on a Monday.
It is. I do remember looking it up. Of course, I do everything because I couldn't believe the whole 1 to 3 pound thing. I had to go find that out myself too. I can't remember if it's between spring and fall. Or
can I see your works cited sheet?
I feel like it was both, but I can't remember. I'd have to go look it up because in the spring and fall, even the kids start school in fall, and parents tend to become more structured, which means they get busier. They don't have as much time to be eating as much as they do in the summertime, and they're actually more active than what they think. So
You know, I had a coworker who this year, after the new year, she said, and starting in the spring, starting March, I am getting ready for the summer. I'm gonna cut out pop, cut out junk food, cut out smoking, and she would go to the track every day for an hour and run for an hour, and that lasted for like 2 months, and then she was just like back at it. Right when people started getting their boats out, she was about done with that. That's about as long as it lasted.
and I think you just reminded me that might have been it, is that people prep for summer, for going on vacations, going to the beach, going swimming, having to put on a bikini, or not a bikini, but having to put on a swimsuit is enough to motivate people. So I believe it is the springtime. And then of course summer comes and they stop paying attention to it, which then increases the weight gain.
Think about that for just a minute. Think of how awful this cycle is.
Yep.
It is just dawning on me now. It's like, just like you said, right before, like you said, your girlfriend getting ready for the summer, 2 solid months. That's a fucking, sorry, that's all, I'm swearing it. That's a long time. Like, that's not like, oh, she got on it for 2 weeks. That's like a solid 2 months. And summertime comes, I'm done. Boats are out. Let's have fun. That's great and all. That's 2 to 3 more months now that you're out of that routine. Then September comes around, kids are going back in school. You're like, all right, let's time to be structured and get back into it and blah, blah, blah. And 2 good more months, and then it's November. Thanksgiving, holidays, and you're right back. It's a damn flippin' cycle.
It really is. She was like, oh, after football season, her son is 9, and she's like, after football season, we're just too busy. She's a field coordinator. Once everything dies down, it'll be spring before life dies down a little bit to where it's calm. That's probably the only calm time. That makes sense, but it is crazy. More reason to like really push now. Like just me, even personally, like to not fall off. Mm-hmm. Then I could be ahead of the game in the spring.
Or just reminding ourselves of how like important that routine is, you know, and how
no matter the year, no matter the time of the year,
no matter the time, like that's crazy things to our bodies. Like doing that fluctuation like that. No wonder we never get anywhere.
Well,
yeah,
contributes to
I just had that same thought.
And people are like, oh, I've been struggling with this 10 pounds for the last blah, blah, blah years. Like, yeah, well, that's fucking right. That's because you keep on.
And that's why we think about the cycle. So it is a cycle, and that's where it just goes up and down every year. It's the same thing. But if you look at it over time, we're spending, I think, more months in the gain cycles than we are, in the lose cycles. But anyway, so got to build a regular routine. All right. And then last trivia.
Your face.
Since Thanksgiving is coming, right? How much food do you think that the average size stomach can hold?
I thought I knew. I think I know this. Oh.
I heard it on the radio once, a long time ago.
Pounds wise?
Well, no, not pound wise, but like in measurement.
Can I have a multiple choice?
Oh, wait. Tracy's over the wall. She doesn't use the same measurements we do. No.
And I also already had Thanksgiving.
Like quarts and gallons and liters and things like that. Well, you use liters, so.
Okay, so what measurement are we using for you? I can convert.
How about this? A liter.
Okay, how many liters?
I bet it's like half of a milliliter. Not even a bottle of wine. Or a half a bottle of wine. What's that? 750? 375?
I'm going to say a half a liter, 500 mils. That's my guess. That's fucked up, I know. You're going to be like, you're so fucked up and dumb. You're going to stop me right now. Emily, what's your guess? Come on.
The price is right, Emily.
I think it's like 150 milliliters. I don't. It's like this much. It's like not very much. Your stomach's not big, right? I mean, you can stretch it. Eat some hot dogs and some buns the night before with a gallon of water.
So that's what I'm saying is it may only be a certain size, but how much food can it hold at one time up to? So I can tell you that you get another guess and you need to increase it significantly.
Me? Right, 2 liters.
What'd you say, Emily?
2 liters.
All right. Tracy?
Higher or lower than Emily? I'm going to say 5 liters.
All right.
I'm just going with it.
You're so game show, though. You're like 5 liters.
5 liters! I know I'm so game show, Emily. Shut up.
4.
Oh, shit.
That's
you were above. You're out of it. You're out of the game.
Right. Can't
You're over. That's crazy. 4 liters of food is what your stomach can hold.
So when you stuff it on that before you start, aggravating the gag reflex, but like on Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving's one of the biggest food days of the year, and we pack more food into our bellies at one time probably than any other time of the year. So you can put about 4 liters into your stomach. But Emily, you're very correct. Our stomach is very small. And so it only takes about a cup to a cup and a half of food before your stomach can actually feel it. But now you don't get the signal through your brain for, up to 20 minutes. So by that time, you've probably eaten 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 cups, right?
Our stomachs need Wi-Fi.
Yes, that would be good. Yep. That it would, but think about that. I mean, your stomach feels the food after you've eaten about a cup to a cup and a half, but and when it gets that feeling, it sends the signal to the brain, but it takes about 20 minutes for that signal to register, and then your brain to tell you, okay, I'm full, or I feel it. So in that amount of time, you can eat a lot of cups.
Yeah.
And you think about on Thanksgiving, we eat a lot of food in a really short amount of time. And then even when we're full, we still have all the goodies afterwards because we only get them once a year.
So that's the concept between why they say, like, obviously to chew smaller bites and more bites. Like,
right, so that it takes longer to eat.
So that it sends that signal to the brain to let you know that you're actually full. That makes sense now. I thought it was just because you don't want to look like a pig.
So there's that.
Tracy.
That's why I take my plate to the bathroom so nobody thinks I'm a pig.
Oh my God.
Anyway, all right. So that's all the trivia I got for you tonight. But in terms of, how that applies to excuses, I mean, even with the amount of food that we eat on Thanksgiving, we do it through the justification of excuses. Like, I'm only going to do this once a year, or only get these desserts once a year, and, those kinds of things. It's those kind of subtle, once in a while excuses that actually end up hurting us more than sometimes excuses.
Shut up. Keep the phone.
So there's only one excuse that you really ever need to know. And that's the excuse that gets in the way of making any change today. So I'll start tomorrow's, I'll start next week, I'll wait till
I keep telling myself that.
Let me go get some workout clothes first. So the only excuse that you really have to pay attention to is that one that is delaying the start of something. If it's keeping you from doing something today, that's the excuse to pay attention to.
Yes.
All right.
I feel like I gotta take that all in. Hold on. I feel like that's deeper than I feel like that's
It is
deeper than what it actually sounds like.
Oh yeah.
It's memorable.
Yeah, because it could be different for everybody, but it is the same mentality, you know?
I can't do that yet.
Well, I can't do that yet either. I don't know what that was, Tracy.
That's for Google.
Oh,
What was it me?
oh
I was wondering what that noise. I'm like, Linda, I told you there's ghosts around me, and some fucking ghosts are talking in here.
I didn't know if you guys could hear that, and I'm like, can they hear it? Can they not? And then your face, I'm like, oh, they can hear it.
Emily, I just had this conversation with Linda that I thought I was seeing some things, some spiritual ghosts, and then I'm hearing shit now, and it's making me freaking out.
Here, check this out.
Oh,
Do you see this?
yeah.
It's like right in my window, so sometimes if my curtains are like a little open, I think somebody's peeping in my window. It's my own Halloween decoration. It scares me every day.
Oh my God, you're killing me. All right. I love you guys.
That was awesome.
All right.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you
Linda.
for that insight. I really needed that. I haven't worked out since I've been home from Florida, and I keep telling myself like, "Oh, it's tomorrow. Oh, it's tomorrow." Yeah. And then I start to feel this other one creeping. Well, in November, I'm starting the November running challenge, so there's that. Not good.
Do it tomorrow, Emily.
I need to. I have tomorrow off. I need to.
Oh, that's good. You know,
I'm
when I
gonna
finally
text you. I'm gonna check in with you.
That's good. Keep her honest, Tracy. When I finally accepted that whole, the holiday weight gain and the seasonal weight gain, and I stopped using it to sabotage myself, I turned it around because I made a commitment that I would use summertime to do the most focus on my journey. Instead of the rest of the time of the year, summertime would be the time that I push the hardest, and so I made that, and it just, everything else kind of fell in line after that.
I like it.
All right, ladies.
All
See you
right.
next month.
All right. All right. Thank you,
Thanks,
Tracy.
Linda.
Linda, Tracy, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, you will.